Man, I tell you what, I'm gonna be late to my own damn funeral. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. I sat down in the chair and then realized I had 5 more things I had to do. So I've been running. So forgive me if I sound wore out. Uh, First things first, let's get that old grumpy guy that might be even grumpier now that he had to announce his concession last week and all that. And I think he got all up in his feelings and he got all disappointed. But something tells me now that I think maybe he's over it. Let's welcome in Lloyd Mendenhall.
Hey Mel,
Hey,
yeah,
Lloyd.
I think I'm getting over it. I I've got my legal team furiously working on a recount, as I've said in our show today. Uh, for me, because I don't think it's right that all the dead people should have voted for Biden. Because I know they were all supporting me, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think he stole my dead people's votes.
I mean, you went through the
We're looking
cemetery
into
4 or 5 times last week, didn't you?
at least. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I've
yeah,
really, you know, I spent a lot of money on flowers. You know,
yeah.
making sure that everybody who was going to vote for me had a fresh flower on their grave. And
Right, right, right.
so I I think that those votes got stolen from me. So I'm a little hurt about that.
Well, and rightfully so. I'm going to make a little adjustment here in my camera that I've been meaning to make for a long time and just never have. Well, that ain't what I wanted. What the hell? Okay, let's uh, let's
Well,
take
you're
that
the
adjust.
host. You can have a bigger picture.
Well, that's not what I wanted to do. Um, yeah, I'll mess with it later. Anyway, how you doing? You doing all right otherwise?
I am just a lot of I've explained some of the reasons why I didn't post any videos for a couple of weeks. We're kind of Judy's health is kind of getting well. Yeah, her body's wearing out, and she's just getting wore out.
Yeah,
And when you're constantly dealing with health issues and fighting, you get wore out. So
yeah, yeah.
uh,
I certainly understand that.
it's yeah, and it's taking a strain on her. It's taking a strain on me too. And but you know, we're I said on Art show today, or said to Art, I can't remember. I think if I can keep her pissed off at me, she'll stay around just to spite me. That
Yeah,
works for me.
yeah, yep. That's a win-win, isn't it?
It is for me. Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, let's
You
say
know,
hello to everybody. Hello, John. John F was the first one in the chat tonight. Well, let me make sure I got live chat instead of
you're on
talk
live
chat
chat.
because I don't want to mess that up. Yep, John F was the first one still. Jody, Drone Shots, Captain Ray Kelly, my brother, Backwoods Droner, Grumpy Vlogger. That guy's always here. I can't seem to shake him. Hello, Mike B.
I know. I've been having. He's stalking me. I think.
Sonari, welcome to the chat. Kenny Cardosa. Who else we got in here? Rick Halber, hello. Oh my goodness. Metro Drones. Thank you, sir. Making it rain up in here. That's really nice of you. I appreciate that. You have no idea how much I do appreciate that. Lon, hello there, sir. And Ken Hoffbauer. Hey, Ken.
Thanks, Lon.
Uh, I sent that thing to Bob, Ken, and it should be there Monday. So by the time you come through next weekend, I'll know if I got to make adjustments or whatever, and we'll get you hooked up with one of them tablet holders that I've been making. You know,
Mm,
speaking of making, I've been having so much fun with that 3D printer now that I've not been working 40, 50, 60, 70 hours a week. You know,
right.
I bought that first one. I had it when I met you the first time, I think. I think it
Yeah.
was in the
Yeah.
truck.
That was the only one you had then.
And then I bought that dual color one probably close to 2 years ago now. And
2 years ago, yeah, at
I've been
least.
over here at Sonari's place over a year already. You believe that? August was a
Yeah,
year.
well, I was looking at a video or I was looking at one of my past videos, and it was, I think you might have been, I think you were heading to California. I can't remember when it was, which time it was, but yeah, and that was before you moved to Arkansas, so
Oh
it was
yeah,
almost 2 years
that
ago.
was yeah. Um, but I'm just really haven't. Does Judy use that stamp at all yet? Has she done much with her pottery wheel?
She has used it on the few pieces that she's done, you know, and
Cool.
and that was appreciated. For
Yeah.
those that don't know, Judy, I went through this whole rigmarole to get a pottery wheel, and because Judy
It
wanted one, I
was a
promised her for
rigmarole
years.
too. It's been over
Oh
a
my
year since you
God!
done that. You believe it?
Oh, it's been, yeah, at least,
You know.
because I actually got the pottery wheel before you made the stamp.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because you made this, and you made that stamp. I think you brought it through on your second trip to Spin Up.
I don't.
Yeah,
Did I bring it or did I send it? I think I sent that in the mail to
you
you
might
from
you
the
might have
house.
sent it. Yeah, yeah, you might have sent
Yeah,
it. Yeah, I've
but
slept since then. I'm
but I
old,
tell you, I'm
you
just
know.
enjoying the daylights out of this thing now that I've got time to play with it again. Um,
Right, right,
I made headers for my little motor that I'm doing.
right, right.
So here's the here's the engine block, and being white, it's too much light in here for that to be white. But
You're right,
so
right.
so I made headers, and
Oh, Steve Mack.
these just came off the printer a little while ago, and they'll get glued to the side of the engine block like so. And
Right.
so I don't know if you can see them or not. Yeah, you can see that.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Um, those the one that came with the engine. This is derived the what they call the mesh that forms this is a series of triangles. You've seen
Okay.
meshes, right? It's all a bunch of
Yeah,
triangles
yeah,
that
yeah.
come together and make the shape.
Right.
I tried to load the headers that came with this in Tinkercad because this is upscaled, so I have to bring everything
Mm-hmm.
into Tinkercad and upscale it to match the new size. Tinkercad would not load the headers. It gave me an error. It said Tinkercad is unable to load items with more than 300,000 triangles.
Wow.
Yeah. So the headers that guy made took 300,000 plus triangles to create this entire shape. And this is probably probably close to double the size now than what his was.
Right.
And this is all scratch built. I made this with tubing and stuff in Tinkercad. So, yeah, talk about crazy. But anyway, so
By
I'm
the, by the
enjoying
way, you
this.
had a couple more people. Had a couple more people. Dennis Lovelady is here,
I see
and
Art came in, Joe Blaylock,
Joe Blaylock. Yeah.
Metro Drones, of
Uh,
course. He gave us a
Steve
super
Mack.
chat. Steve Mack, howdy. Dennis, howdy. So,
Versus Ken Hoffbauer.
yep, talked to him, told him about the thing I made for that he wants me to make
Oh,
one of
that's
those
right.
tablet
That's right.
holders for him.
Hello, Sonari.
So now these headers, because they're so small, I printed these on a raft, and I've already peeled the raft off, but I haven't peeled all of the fill, the support
Right.
layers out of
Right.
this one yet. So you can see when this is being printed on the bed, it sticks up in the air right here. So in order to print
Yeah.
stuff, it has to print support material under it. So
Ah. Yeah.
this one,
Okay.
still has all the support material in the shape because I haven't plucked it all out of there yet. So I
Right,
gotta
right.
pluck that out and then get my little X-Acto knife and do a little trimming and stuff. But
Yeah, yeah.
man, I am really enjoying having the time to play with that thing.
I'm I'm trying to decide whether I want to get a laser printer or a 3D printer. You know,
You mean a laser cutter?
yeah, a laser cutter.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, a laser cutter. Not a laser printer. Yeah, a laser etching machine.
Neither one of us can afford a laser printer. Those are high dollar printers, and all they do is
Yeah,
print on
yeah,
paper.
yeah. Right, yeah. You know what I'm talking about. One
Yeah.
that'll cut into the wood, that'll cut into the
Um,
leather.
I've
It'll burn into paper too.
I've talked to a couple of guys about those because they make some now that are actually pretty budget. Um,
Yeah, they do.
like 150, $175. And I talked
Right.
to a guy that's got one that will cut up to quarter-inch plywood.
Holy crap.
And he
That's pretty
said
good.
that do not buy one of the $150 ones. He said
Yeah.
because to cut through eighth-inch plywood, you have to make like 6 passes. So,
6 passes, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
he said they're just not strong enough to do it, and it takes way too long. He said to get a decent one that'll easily cut like eighth-inch plywood and stuff, you're going to spend 3 to 3.5.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. And part of the reason I'm thinking this is because, I've been playing that three-string cigar box guitar.
Uh-huh.
And I'm thinking after the first of the year, I'm going to, because I've already talked about it with James. He does a lot of the woodworking. But if I do those, I want to be able to do my own burn diversion with a laser onto the box,
Uh-huh.
and put my logo on there. Because, you know, we'll either, we may buy blank boxes, you know, which you can, or cigar boxes, and I'll look at the price and see which one's cheapest, and then just buy the hardware, and James can cut out the neck stock and all that stuff and
Yeah.
assemble it, and then I'll go and string it, test it, make sure it's playing right,
Yeah.
because he has no clue about playing an instrument, and well, I don't either, but I watch YouTube videos.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Actually,
how you do it.
I've been playing musical instruments for over 50 years. I started playing guitar 50 almost 54 years ago.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, if you want to know something,
I still play crappy.
there's a good classroom sitting right in front of your computer every day. Good place.
Oh,
Good
I
place.
know. I
Yeah.
know. Yeah, well, I've got the other thing I'm thinking, because I was talking to Judy, since I've been playing the cigar box guitar, and I do a lot of slide work on, and it's it's a lot of fun. But I've got a Gretsch lap steel, electric lap steel over here that I'm thinking about pulling out and putting with one of my small, or even using that small amp that Judy got with my she bought me my guitar. She bought the amp too, cigar box guitar. So you watch YouTube videos, and I slept at a Holiday Inn last night. I'm not sure I want to.
You
I'm
know
not
the
sure what
Holiday
that's
Inn
all.
commercials. Slept at a Holiday Inn Express.
Oh yeah,
Smarter. Yeah.
yeah,
Come on, keep up,
yeah,
keep up.
yeah.
Art would like you
What
to
my
post
problem is, I don't see regular TV.
his link for the GoFundMe that he's doing for the
Yes, for
the typhoon relief
people in the Philippines.
in the
Yeah,
Philippines.
yeah,
Um,
because they've gotten hit. You know that I think what is
hello,
it is
Angela.
the southern hemisphere out in the Atlantic. Those are considered typhoons.
Yeah,
They're hurricanes over on the in the I think in the northern in the Atlantic side. I'm not sure.
yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
sure. I think they're still hurricanes if they're in the northern hemisphere. If they're southern hemisphere, they're typhoons. A lot of wind blowing water.
yeah. A lot of wind blowing somewhere, huh? Anyway,
Yeah.
um, So, yeah, I made a tubing bender too. And I did some research on how to bend the tubing around the motor without kinking it. So
Oh,
now I'm going to do that. And you know how, like heat sinks on electric motors, RC motors and
Angeles.
things, and even your computer, PC, uh, CPU heat sink is aluminum, milled aluminum.
Yeah, yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
wondering, why would I have to use copper tubing as the coil for the cooling? Why couldn't I use aluminum? I mean, if it's good enough for the CPU, I would think
I
it would transfer heat
think
and it'd sure be a lot cheaper than the copper.
typhoons are west of Hawaii. Okay. Uh, yeah, it would be cheaper, but I think yeah, it would work. I mean, that's not a problem, but it's just that you have a better dispensation with copper than you do aluminum
Well, then why do they make the heat sinks for CPUs out of aluminum?
because they're cheap and they're Chinese and they get by with. I'm just saying copper is better at dispensating. You don't make, for example, to get the sweating and all of that in a still, you don't use aluminum, you use copper. You get
Well,
better
yeah,
condensation,
yeah.
better
I know you get
better
better heat
heat transfer.
transfer,
Yeah.
but I'm just wondering, would it be good enough? You
Oh
know,
yeah, yeah.
I
For
mean, it's
that,
not like these motors are going to be running full bore, under a heavy load,
right.
100% of
Now
the.
you're running water through the
Yeah,
aluminum tubing, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That'd work. That'd work.
Doing good, Angela. Thank you. Thank you for asking. Thanks for coming
Yes,
in.
thank you.
Glad you're
Yeah.
here. Glad you're here. Um, so
Thanks to Lon, he remembered heat transfer is the word I was looking for.
they
But
finally sent
best I could.
yeah, that's why I said heat transfer. That's where I read it was Lon was talking about it.
Yeah.
They finally sent that other motor that caught fire or smoked.
Copper is less reactive with water. Okay.
Okay, well that's good to know. Well,
Yeah.
I guess I'll use copper then. I was just trying to,
Yeah.
save a penny. You know what I mean? I gotta
Yeah.
save pennies every chance I get. Hello, Bob Casey. Welcome, buddy. Thank you for coming in. So, anybody that wants anything 3D printed,
Thank you, Dennis.
if you find it on Thingiverse, I can probably print it for you. I
Excellent.
can't charge for it because it's on Thingiverse. But
And typhoons.
if you want to donate filament or something like that, we can make a deal.
Lon said for what you're doing, though, aluminum would probably suffice.
Well, that's what I'm thinking too. That aluminum would probably
Yeah.
be good enough. And I don't know. We'll see. But I learned
You know,
a good way to bend
go ahead. Go ahead.
because this small tubing, this big, okay, we're talking 1/8 inch tubing here. Actually, it's
Mm-hmm.
5/32, so it's just a hair. It's a 30-second bigger than 1/8 inch. Even with a good tubing bender, you cannot bend this stuff without getting a kink in it. I don't know if that'll show on
Yeah.
the camera, but it's not showing up. So I did a little research, and there's guys that have figured out a way how to bend this stuff flawlessly without kinking it. Bigger tubing, you can fill it with fine grind sand or fine grind salt,
Mm-hmm.
cap the
Right.
ends, and then bend it, and the salt won't let the sides of the casing collapse.
Collapse. Yeah.
Another way is with hydraulics. So you bend this with you turn it into a hydraulic, basically cylinder. So
Yeah.
what you do is you fill the tube with oil, right? You pinch off
Mm-hmm.
both ends, then you solder both
Right.
ends to seal them up really good.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as it's completely full of oil with no air pocket, you can bend it in a just about as small a diameter as you want.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah. And then you just take a Dremel tool and cut your crimped end off. And if you want to
Right.
flange it and solder another one to it to make it longer, you know? Yeah. So, anyway, so that's what I'm going to be doing with that. And yeah, the SpaceX is about to launch with a 4-man crew on board.
Yeah. By the way, Lon wanted to know, can you print a hot Russian or Ukrainian wife for him?
Yes, I absolutely can. And the appropriate hole would be about that big to fit Lon's requirements.
That'd be about right for him, right?
Yep, that's what I'm thinking.
Oh,
can't wait to see what he says about that.
Yeah, I know. This is
Gilbert Drone Services printed the TIE Fighter drone Thingiverse, flew it with FPV parts. Absolutely. Yep, I get it. And Mike B just posted the link. Already.
okay.
Mike B just posted the link for Art's effort to help out.
Relief. Yeah.
And
we talked about that a little bit on his show today, and he's going to be sending it through the what was that group now? One of the My
like
PI Dream
Lions Club or something.
Who?
Something.
Not Lions Club, but one of those groups.
Yeah.
Art will type up there who it is, but
yeah, I'm sure he will. He'll fill us in.
You know, and that was just a couple hours ago, and I already forgot.
I know. Well, you know, I've been busy since then, so it's kind of crazy.
Well, I haven't. Rotary Club. Thank you, Art. The Rotary
there you
Club.
go, Rotary Club. Why didn't I think of that?
I have no idea. Yeah, you'd think it's perfect considering, you know, most of us own a drone. A lot of us are droners in the audience.
Yeah.
Rotary Club is a club we should all belong to.
Yeah. I'm going to leave that alone.
Anyways, but My PI Dream, James there is a really good guy, and he'll see that it's put proper use. Yeah, I know.
Absolutely. Shriners, yeah. Any one of those groups
Shriners,
is a good place.
Yeah.
They'll all be helpful.
Yeah.
So I got another plan for this evening, Lloyd.
Oh, what's that?
Well, you remember on a live stream, probably a month ago now?
Yeah,
probably a month ago, 3 weeks anyway. I did some troubleshooting on the port engine on my PBY Catalina, and when I powered everything up, the engine started smoking. Remember that?
I do. I thought you were just using smoke and mirrors on that myself, but
no, that was actually the motor smoking. Everybody, please take a moment to hit that like button. I appreciate that, Mike. The rocket's going up. So tonight I thought what I would do is put the new motor in.
Oh, okay.
Right after that happened, when I found out it was going to take weeks and weeks to get any information on whether or not they're going to replace that motor, I bought another motor, and I just haven't put it together. And Bob Casey reminded me of it last night. He asked about that airplane, and I thought, you know, I need to put that back together. So I think what I'm going to do is, and I should have sound in there, and let me see, how can I do this? I think that I can go, what's going to be the best way to do this? Let me think about this for a minute. That's number 34. So if I go here and go here and go here and then go, I think if I go here, come down to number 34. Yep, I got audio. Okay. Now I turn this off and oh man. Let me turn
Your
that
printer.
volume down. What's that?
Yeah. That is your printer running in the background?
Yeah, and I've got the camera sitting on top of the gantry, so the thing's moving and the camera's shaking all over. So
Yeah.
let me
Yeah.
go move that. I'm gonna have to zoom
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to zoom that out a little bit though, because as soon as I move it, it's probably
Yeah.
gonna go out of frame. So let me zoom
Yeah.
that
There
out
you go.
just a touch,
Right.
and let's say we move it over a little bit, maybe move it up a little bit. How's that? Does that look good? That way I can keep you
Yeah.
in
That looks
shot
pretty
and
good.
have that in there too. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna move to that room and we'll put
Okay.
a motor in. Is that
Excellent.
is that
Yeah.
printer too loud? See,
Looks like.
because if I cut the volume down too much, you guys won't be able to hear me talking.
Ooh. It's not bad. Once you get over there, you should be able
Maybe I'll be
to.
able to talk over it, but I won't be able
Yeah.
to.
So,
I may be able to hear. I'm not sure. So we'll just
right.
have to
Right.
play it by ear.
8,900 or 8,000, 9,000 velocity. Altitude is 188, 189. That SpaceX is a thing to see if you guys, uh, hopefully you guys can catch it on replay or you're doing like I am and I'm watching it on my other monitor. So, uh, but so finally putting people back up in space. And this is through private enterprise, and that's the way it needed to be done. We should have been doing this years ago. And, but we are finally putting a Crew One mission, is what it's called, and just watch it go up. Yeah, it is. I'm catching it. I just caught it. It
Okay.
was already up. So you back, Mel? So as Mel gets himself situated there,
How's
and
the how's the audio, Lloyd?
it's okay. It's okay.
Is
Yeah,
it is
we
it
can hear you.
tolerable?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Your
Yeah.
voice is coming through. Just
I
yeah,
can barely hear you on the laptop
right.
speaker. I'm gonna see
Yeah,
if I can move this real quick and show the printer here. Two color,
yeah,
but this is
yeah.
that's gonna be the that's gonna be the water pump and a bunch of other parts.
Excellent.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a drink here.
That focus good? Yeah. All right. Whoops.
Yep. There you go. Yeah.
If it topples down, you guys will know what happened. So
Yep. Yep.
here's here's the new motor.
Oh, we can't see the motor, Mel, but
If you need my attention, Lloyd, wave at me or something. I got a second
okay.
monitor
All
where
right.
I can see you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
So motor goes in with the wires pointed down. Let me get a little bit of thread lock because I'm gonna
okay.
put thread lock on these threads. These are my motor mount screws right here. I'm gonna put just a little dab of thread lock on there.
Okay.
Just like that. And I'm going to put the motor up in place, just like that.
Oh, okay. That's how that works. Whoops, shifted out of focus now.
Little bitty tiny screws. I don't know if you guys can see those, but they're not very big.
Yeah, the SpaceX camera angles are a bit odd. Gotta admit, though, that is yeah. I'm just glad that we as a country are finally starting to put some spacecraft or sending people back up. You know,
Get them all threaded in.
that's okay. You know, let's see if I can. Oh, there's the astronauts. Wow, looks a lot different than what they used to travel. Actually, reminds me of the Apollo.
Wires. One.
Looks like they're fly fishing.
Number 2. And number 3.
Oh, there's 4 crew members. That's
Okay.
just realized that.
All
Okay, you ready to fire it
the
up?
wires
Hey,
plugged in.
Mel, make sure move your camera angle. Your camera is slightly out of focus. There you go. Right there.
Okay. So the motor screwed in. I put Loctite on the screw threads. Got a battery standing by. I got a transmitter standing
Okay.
by.
All right.
Boy, got all dusty sitting here. So I'm going to turn the controller on. Make sure it's got power. Throttle warning. Set to the PBY Catalina. So now I should be able to plug in a battery. And
Well, with luck.
what's that?
I said, with luck, you can plug in a battery and not smoke at all.
Oh, I can plug it in. Make sure the motors are turned off. I believe they're not armed. Well, what do you think of that?
Kind of looks like the last one you did. Didn't you
Now
smoke
I'm
the last
starting to
one?
think it's Now I'm starting to think it's the ESC. I don't know what's wrong now.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
Yep. I saw the smoke. Yep.
Well,
I mean, as soon as you plugged it in, oof.
I don't know what the cause of that is.
Lon says ESC. Who would have guessed that? I think Lon said it was ESC the last time he did that. If
Did
I
Lon say
remember
it was
right.
the ESC last time?
I think he did. Joe says to check your voltage. Now the
Check
other
the
motor isn't. Yeah, the other motor isn't affected, is it?
Well, no. You unplug this motor and turn the transmitter back on.
All right, Dennis, you have a good evening then. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you, Dennis. Plug the battery in.
Brent Nunley says you don't have a smoke stopper, Mel. Voltage, that is an interesting guess as well. Do you have a meter?
Well, I don't get anything out of the other motor now.
You're not getting anything out of it?
Nope.
Now, what size of batteries are you using on this?
Oh, I had the wrong switch for the arm switch.
Oh, okay. So that motor's working fine. Yeah. Now they have separate ESCs, right?
Now, that motor started smoking with the arm switch disarmed. So there's no
The
power
other
going to
motor?
that motor. See,
Sounds like
let me see if I can show this on the camera. Okay. Right here's the arm switch on the controller. Okay.
okay.
Right now,
Yeah.
it's disarmed. See, I can hit the throttle and
Okay.
nothing happens on that other motor.
Right.
When I flip the switch down, that arms the motors. Okay?
Right.
The motors were disarmed. And as soon as I put battery to that thing, it started the motor smoking.
Okay. Sounds like a wiring issue, like Lon says.
So, what's causing all that?
I don't know. Other than now, the good motor's not smoking at all, is it?
The what?
The good motor, it doesn't smoke, does it?
Nope.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to go back
Lon
to the
says
deck.
ESC stack. you can say what you want, man, but those guys with SpaceX got some awesome looking uh, flight suits. And those seats look pretty good too. I'll bet they're a lot better than they were in the Apollo days. Those looks. They designed them after some sci-fi movie. You know, obviously that was their intent. You know, they said, "Hey, let's see what they're doing on the sci-fi movies." Oh yeah, this is cool. We'll do them that way. I mean, really,
What's
rubber
that?
boots.
What's that?
I'm watching the SpaceX, and they're showing the crew as they're getting ready to load up and all that, and they look like motorcycle racing suits. Yeah, yeah. They designed their outfits to, well, they look like, I don't know, from some of the modern sci-fi movies. You know, so Lon says, "How was it, the ESC or the stack?" Now those have separate
There is
ESCs,
no
right? One for
stack.
each side.
There's no stack.
Okay, right.
Um, it's got two ESCs, one going to each motor.
You need to check the voltage coming out of that ESC that keeps smoking the motor.
There shouldn't have been any voltage coming out of it because they weren't armed. See, on my
Right.
controller, just like on an FPV
Or the
drone,
solder bridge on the ESC.
I don't know. The
Maybe you've
ESCs
got.
are sealed. They're sealed with water protectant to help keep them more water resistant. But the the channel on the radio,
Right.
channel one, that goes to a Y to each ESC, so that when
Right.
I move the stick, it sends a signal to the ESC to put juice to the motors. That
Yeah,
switch
whichever.
that
Yeah.
controls that channel was off. So there was no signal going to the ESCs to tell it to put juice to the motors. As soon as I plugged that in,
Transmitter
it started smoking. So, yeah, Lon, transmitter, receiver, ESC. Yep.
Right.
And each motor has its own ESC. Yeah, some voltage
some
is coming
voltage
in to
has
let
to be.
the smoke out. That's true.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's probably what's happening. Now, you said when it was in the disarmed position, it smoked that motor, but it
Yeah.
doesn't smoke the other motor when you arm
No.
it or disarm it, right?
No. The other motor, when I arm the servos or ESCs, when I put
Right.
signal to that channel on the radio, yeah, that's what I'm going to do, Lon. I'll swap the motors. I'll plug that other motor into the other ESC and see what it does. That's the only thing I can do at this point.
Right. Because there's no way you could get two bad motors. Well, you could.
No, I'm not going to swap the ESCs because if I got a bad ESC making the motors burn up, I don't want to burn another motor up. I mean, this motor that I...
Well, what it means, if that motor works on that other side,
then that ESC is a problem.
Yeah. But I would really double check the wiring to make sure it's all, for whatever reason.
There's nothing to check. There's a servo lead going to the receiver. There's a battery lead coming to the battery. I mean, there's nothing else to check. There are no other wires. And then the 3 wires come out of the ESC that go to the motor. There's no other wiring to check.
Okay.
So I'm thinking...
Yeah, it's probably a bad ESC.
I'm thinking that ESC went bad on me.
Yeah.
Which is going to be a problem. Because that was a matched pair that I bought, so they'd both be identical. So that they would put the same current to the motor, given the amount of throttle, and keep everything bad.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Obviously, there again, it wasn't that good of a match because it was obviously putting more current to one motor than the other.
Well,
That's what's causing the smoke.
well,
It was a joke.
Yeah.
A bad one, but it was a joke.
Yeah. So.
No one has mentioned the ESC. Ken Hoffmeyer thinks it's ESC.
Yeah, I don't think we even considered it being an ESC last time.
No,
We
I
plugged the
don't think
battery
we
in, the
did.
motor
Well,
smoked. We just assumed there was something wrong with the motor.
yeah, exactly. Well,
You know, I mean that's where the
I
smoke
mean,
came
last
from.
time or this time? Yeah, yeah.
So,
Smoke comes from the motor. It's got to be the motor.
well, that's what you would think. Except when you plug in a
Well,
brand new
yeah.
motor and smoke comes from that motor too, then that means whatever's providing the juice to the motor has got an issue. Maybe all see with the way a brushless motor works, it's got 3 wires instead of 2. So
Right.
the ESC rotates the juice between the 3 wires.
Yeah.
And that's what makes the motor spin.
Keep the spin. Yeah, yeah.
I imagine if it puts juice to all 3 at once,
You got a problem.
that would make the. That's right, Ken. That's the issue right there, Lloyd. Why didn't we think of that? The motor's got too much oil in it.
Put too much oil in there. Yeah.
Dadgummit. We should have
Probably
thought of
blew
that.
the seals on it.
Probably. Hey, you know,
that's why I always
we
keep
have.
my low. Well, I always keep my oil low in my car, my van, so that it doesn't blow the seals.
Yeah, but Lloyd, you just run around a court low all the time anyway.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. If you decide that you want to send a video link to the channel, that we can play
Lloyd.
your video and make fun of you on the channel here. 400AGLuploads@gmail.com. That's a good email address to reach me or send a link. Heck, I'll even tell you if you send me an email wanting to talk to Lloyd. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, heck, we're not proud. Lloyd will take secondhand email.
Yeah.
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 He took second and third hand votes. Hell, he'll take a secondhand email, no problem.
Oh, hell yeah.
And
yeah, I'll take any vote I could get.
Just in case anybody's paying attention over there at DJI, the place to send hard box packages, really large ones, medium sized ones, any size. P.O. Box 12, Holiday, Tennessee 38341. Shortly after this show winds up, or while this show is winding up, Professor Dude will be winding his show up. That's a lot of wind-ups.
Oh. Yeah, hold on just a second. I've got something to say. I need to reply to Lon.
Okay. Uh-oh. Oh. He got to bite me. All right. Get out and go somewhere this weekend. Angela, Fort Smith, Arkansas. That's where you need to go. So that's, man, I was really hoping that was not going to end that way. I'm kind of disappointed now.
Well, you know, I'm sure you put in the description that you were going to try this, and everybody came to see if it's going to do it again. You know,
I did. I listed it, you know, as
right. So everybody they want to see, is he going to blow another motor?
Is it going to smoke? And it did. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it did.
They didn't care if it ran. They wanted to see if it smoked. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
You know, that's why you watch NASCAR, right? For the races.
Waiting for the crash?
For the wrecks. Well, I said that wrong, didn't I? Screwed that one up.
Yeah. Anyway.
I mean, really, watching cars goes round and round and round. You want to see them crash. That's the only reason.
Yeah, that's true.
We watch NASCAR for the crashes. That's right. Yeah.
That's very, very true. So even though I had all that racket going on the 3D printer in there. Sorry to say, guys, that I had that all going on. Right screen.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring this up. Here's Simplify 3D really quick. This is what I'm actually printing right now on the printer. This is what I've got running. So I've got the alternator, the harmonic balancer pulley, the power steering pump, the water pump pulley and the water pump, the riser, and the distributor cap. So those are the things that are printing right now. That's what's making all the noise back there. That's what's running through on the printer, and that's for that big motor that I'm making.
Professor Dude says he's taking a break.
Professor Dude says he's taking a break. Oh, really? Oh, he did say he was going to take a break from YouTube for a while, didn't he? I remember that now. Somebody told me that. Somebody told me that. I don't remember who, but that's right. I do remember now. Somebody said something about that. Did my truck break down? What are you talking about, Lon? What's the question? I don't get.
That's why you're putting in the. That's why you're building the motor on a 3D printer.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, that's the motor for the truck, Lon. Big empty shell.
Well, it was a GMC.
Oh my God. Some people's children. Some people's children. I tell you what. No, I'm not building a car. I'm building a boat. Anyway. Lloyd?
With
you
the
gonna do your
plastic
show
motor.
tomorrow night?
I am.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't plan on ranting for 2 hours like I did Monday.
Any spoiler alerts you want to put out there, or you want to keep it all secret?
Not really. I'm just going to do my thing and see what comes up. I'd
rather
just
you do
finished,
your show. I don't really care to know anything about you doing your thing.
I don't know. I may play a 3-string guitar or something. Who knows?
There you go.
Actually, I'm going to start recording some videos with that. Now that I'm starting to pick up a little bit on it, but
we need to go flying on Flight Sim too.
Yeah, we do, and actually, I need to. That reminds me, I need to fire mine up and download the latest update.
Yeah, they've got updates. There's been 2 of them lately.
Yeah, I haven't downloaded any for a while, so.
Oh, well, you might.
Yeah, we need to get together and fly on Flight Sim.
But. Well, we'll see you for your show tomorrow night.
Yeah. And I'll send you the link, and hopefully you'll be able to get there. And
I don't see why not at this
I'm going to send out, some of the usual crowd. I mix it up, just I kind of like doing it that way, just because it's with what I got going on right now. It's just so much easier, and I think I got Ken Hoffbauer's email address somewhere, and if we're out and about, I may have him come in tomorrow.
There you go.
Send him an invitation. So, but
yeah,
no,
Ken,
nothing exciting, just the same old stuff.
Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 updates.
Yeah.
Good night, little brother.
Updates for a flight. Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe we can do some of that tomorrow if we can get it hooked together where we can fly together on your show.
Yeah, I think, well, yeah, we can. That's no problem. And we can do some flying and maybe even bring it into the show tomorrow night.
Yeah, okay. All right.
See what we can do.
Well, I like it. I'm really enjoying
Lon, you
that.
would like it.
Yeah.
And they've got it. Now they've got it. I think they finally released it for Xbox. So those people that have Xbox, can
Well,
fly as well.
it's funny.
That's what's so
I didn't download it from that same place you did.
right.
I downloaded it from Microsoft, so when I open mine up, it says Xbox on the screen. And that
Oh,
I
mine says
downloaded that a
Xbox on it
couple
too.
months ago. Oh, does it?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah. It
okay.
opens up, but I downloaded it through Steam because my son gifted it to me, and it's easier to gift it through Steam than it is
Oh.
through Xbox. So
Oh, okay.
and
No,
so
Gilbert. No desire to waste $600 on a drone.
yeah, if I was gonna if I'm going to get anything, and I talked about this with, I'd actually ask Kelly some questions when he showed that he had it. Should I save my money or not? And the next week he did a video on the difference of the two. And I said, well, that explains what I'm going to do if I get one. I'm going to go with the Air 2.
Yeah, exactly. If you're going to spend
But
600, save up another 3 and get the Mavic Air 2 Fly more.
yeah,
Hey, Michael,
that's
thanks
what
for
I'll
coming
probably
in.
do.
Yeah. Yep.
Got it from Xbox Game Pass. That's where most people did, but my son uses, and I have a Steam account, and he did too. So, that's what he used to get it. I just need to. Actually, I'll probably open it up after the show and download the updates after we get off here. So
Yeah, the printer's running. I can't
but,
do anything else till that stuff's done. It was going to be
right.
almost 3 hours on printing those 5 little items. So, because I'm
Yeah,
printing
well,
high resolution, high quality, whatever. That way I have
yeah.
finer lines and everything looks better, make it easier to finish it and print it and stuff. But anyway.
Hello, Michael Blade. Yeah, I'm still debating on whether I want a 3D. I don't see where I would use a 3D printer. It's just not.
Yeah.
It's too damn much work for what I would use it for. I wouldn't use it for anything. I'd
Well,
make me a bunch of.
it's no different work than a laser cutter, you know.
Yeah, but a laser cutter,
you still got to do all the design in CAD. Then you got to
yeah,
save it as a file, and then you got to load it in the printer, and you got to load the material in the printer. You got to make sure your bed's level. You got to, you got to do all the same
but
stuff.
with a laser cutter, I have more of a reason to get one. Like I said, once we start putting together some cigar box guitars, I want to be able to put my logo on it,
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, you make your own guitars. I mean, if you buy the laser cutter, you're going to make them out of 1/8 inch or 3/16 material at the most. So make sure you get the the right laser and just cut your own.
Where I can cut the lumber out, the dovetails, and
make your own designs.
All the joints. Yeah, and that's it. And that's probably what I would do. That's why I see it being more practical for a laser cutter than I do for or laser etching than I do for a 3D printer right now. At least for what I would do.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I'm hoping after the first year to start, at least do my first, my first model of a. I'm trying to decide if I want to put in humbucker pickups or if I want to just use the piezo electric pickup.
Right.
A lot simpler, a lot easier to use, but humbuckers will have a better sound.
True. True.
Yeah.
Well, anything mounted inside, hardwired and all that'll have a better sound.
Well, the piezo's mounted inside, and it's just attached to the case because when I go to play mine's got a piezo pickup. When I go to play it, and sometimes I'm muting, I'm doing a tail mute on the strings,
right?
And I catch myself hitting the box and getting that kind of a drum beat sound out of it too.
Yeah,
yeah. Which you wouldn't get off of a humbucker pickup.
Oh, okay.
Or a single coil,
All right. Well, I think it's time to wrap it up.
Yeah, I think it is. It's 7:05. We've managed to stretch it out just a little bit,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
uh, well, I do the Mavic 2 Pro for about $1,000. FYI, I'm getting the Mavic 3 Pro once that comes out.
The Mavic 2 Pro. I don't know where you're going to get that for
Mavic 3
$1,000.
Pro.
He said
Oh,
he. I think he's saying he'd still stick with the Mavic 2 Pro.
he sell his for about
Oh,
$1,000. Yeah.
well, it doesn't say sell.
Well, he corrected it underneath that.
Oh, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's a good price for the Mavic 2 Pro.
that is a good price for it, especially with Ken's stuff,
Yeah.
because I know it's top notch and probably got the fly more with it and all that. So, anyway,
Yeah.
all right, Lloyd. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Yep.
We're gonna just pull the plug on this and take it home.
All right. Well, thanks for having me on, Mel.
Thanks for being here, Lloyd. All right, everybody. You know the deal. It's that time of the night where the show is over, and I tell everybody thank you for being here. You could have been anywhere, and I really appreciate the fact that you were here with me, here with us, here at the channel. Thank you, and have a good night.